Today we had the news through about Libya, whereby things are starting to look up. That at long last our case has been recognised by the Libyan government and also the UK government. The American people have been settled. Their case has received 1.5 billion, and fair play to them. They were murdered by terrorists, and the Libyan government had helped them terrorists out, so quite rightly they compensated the people who were murdered and injured as well. Now we have to say that we welcome Gaddafi's perhaps change of heart, and the one thing I'd like to say to him is, what better way to close the history book on the whole Libya IRA situation, whereby Libya started off by arming a terrorist organisation, training them and financing them. And what better way would have closed the books than for Libya to help the people who were actually murdered and maimed, the ones who were left behind, and Libya to step up to the mark. And if they do, I would have to say that they deserve credit, because it perhaps wasn't all one way when the whole thing started with Libya, but that's not our issue. We were the ones that suffered because of the consequences of what governments did, not what we did. And because of the consequences of three governments, we ended up paying a very heavy price. Now at long last, Libya is starting to realise that perhaps these people are genuine, and what they're after is not unfair or unjust, and it is only proper that they do try and do what they can for us. Now we welcome that if that happens, but if it doesn't happen, I have to say our legal cases will go on. We have the one running in the United States, whereby at this stage, only America changed the law, we would have been settled in court with Libya, the same as the American citizens were. But America changed the law whereby the court case that we had ongoing, they turned round and said that only USA citizens could claim in the United States. But our court case was already ongoing at that time, so it's not a clean-cut case. But the UK government can't turn around and say that we're not UK citizens. So what we couldn't do, or perhaps what we can't do in the States, we'll be able to do in the UK courts. But hopefully it won't come to that. Hopefully we'll not be in a situation where we're freezing assets belonging to these multinational companies who is working with Libya on different deals. But the one thing I would have to say I'm very disappointed in, but not surprised. I read an article here by Ian Paisley Jr. where he talks about people need to be clever here, and that it's investment they need to be looking into. And this is one of the richest countries in the world. It may be one of the richest countries in the world, and it may be able to put investment in to Northern Ireland or into the United Kingdom, but it has to be held accountable for their actions. And that's the problem, Mr. Paisley. You now are in a situation where you don't care. And this is not simply about the money, this is about the recognition of what took place. And for you to turn around and say a week or a fortnight ago that we would be laughed at in Libya, well, we may be, but you've been laughed at pretty often, and by a lot of your own politicians as well. So don't try and lecture us about being laughed at, because I think if anything, people take us quite serious, unlike some of you politicians. And for the turn around and say that let's forget about what happened and let's get investment into the country. What about justice? What about the rights of the victims? I'd also like to say we'll not be giving up. Hopefully this can be done the easy way. Hopefully people will sit up and listen and realise that these people just will not go away. We can't. We can't dishonour our dead and our injured by simply forgetting about them. I know a lot of people in this country has, but we won't. Well, this is not about money for us, never was, never will be. This is about the recognition and the justice and the compensation to help people live a better life. So I can assure you, we will not be going away until this matter is dealt with, one way or the other.